So, I want to make a video on her real quick since I happened to get her from calendar. Dazzler here. She's pretty cool. I'm just gonna tell you right now, quickly, if you just want to get a quick idea of what she does and what she is. She's one of those champions that has a little bit of unique utility, and her attacking relies heavily on her L2 damage. So I suppose it's kind of like a reverse sunspot where you build charges instead of losing them over time. It's similar to that. I don't know how to compare it to anyone, but she basically does it's like that Captain Infinity War. I don't know, those champions that do like a bunch of damage on the L2, and then that's pretty much it. That's what she does. She does have utility, but it's very small. She reminds me a little bit of Negasonic Teenage Warhead in a few ways. She does have a passive stun, which I didn't see it anywhere in her abilities. I was looking for it, but it seems to affect everyone she stuns. I didn't see it in the notes anywhere, but maybe I missed it. She does have a little bit of utility that's attached to her duped ability as well. So if you want her for her Namor style attack here, you have to get her duped and probably up to max. So when she's attacking, she will take no physical damage. As far as I know, Namor will take no damage, period, physical or energy based, as far as I know. So she's kind of different in that way, but she will still reflect up to 200% of the damage back, which I believe Namor only does 100. Or he just throws it back whatever's thrown at him, essentially. So yeah, she's gonna do more than that. And she does it as a burst of energy damage. So if you're facing someone who's very resistant to energy, it's not gonna hurt them very much. I'm assuming like Havok or something. I don't know any of those energy resistant Mordo. But yeah, so she also has her evade bypassing ability attached to her dupe as well. So she won't be able to bypass evade unless you have her duped ability. At least, I think even if you have it, yeah, because it's only going to last for 2 seconds minimum. And that's bad. So, yeah, you gotta have that thing maxed. And even then, it's not going to be a full fight thing, so it's not something you'd rely on. It's more like, if they have a evade that goes away, like a passive one, that would be good for champions like Stealth Spider-Man type evade. What is it, Black Widow, Deadly Origin, the ones like that where it runs out after a timer. She'll probably be really good for that. Her other utility, I'll just skip to it. She has the ability to dash and not take damage. Inflict a falter, essentially. Where is it? There it is. Right here, I'll highlight it for you. So attacks have a 100% chance to miss when she's dashing towards them outside of striking distance, but it's only on her deadly dash, her dazzling dash. So yeah, that kind of sucks too. I wish it was more just, I don't know, somehow more, I don't know, it happened quicker maybe, like, I don't know, she doesn't do her dazzling dash too often. There's ways you can increase it, but there is a cooldown, I believe, but we'll get to that. So she also has a unique ability to get past any, stand your ground mastery. So if it's one of those annoying champions or you're facing someone who's really annoying and has it maxed out, it won't work. She'll just keep hitting them. It doesn't matter. So it looks like I didn't know she was immune to nullify. I didn't even know that. She doesn't have many buffs to begin with, but she is immune to nullify, which is cool. And she does have the unique ability that nobody else has that I'm aware of, that everyone's crit damage rating is set to 0. So when they hit her, it's not going to do a lot of damage crit-wise unless it's a tech champion. So that's pretty cool as well. So like I said, everything builds on her tempo here. That's what they call it. Your light and medium attacks build one at a time. It goes up to 100. If you use her L3, you can get it to 150. She gets 5 if she... I still haven't figured this out. 5 if the attack strikes the opponent while they're standing up. I'm not sure what that... I'm not entirely sure what that means. As far as I know, they're always standing up when you hit them. Do they fall when you're light attacking them? I don't know. It's very weird to me. Maybe it has something to do with stand your ground mastery, but like heavy attacking them, I'm not sure. But yeah, when you heavy attack a non-stunned opponent, you get 5, which her passive stun doesn't count against that, so you're gonna get it every single time. So it's up to you whether you do a combo or a medium, or excuse me, a combo or a heavy. It's gonna be 5 regardless. She can build it pretty quick once you get started, but you have to be... It's kind of annoying in a way. So in order to build her up quick, you have to tap the block button while she's doing her attacks in her L1 to build up your tempo pretty quickly. You see it do up to 40 tempo, which is 1 L1, and she does put a decent size energy vulnerability passive on the opponent, which is good. It's passive, so they can't shrug it. She doesn't rely on any debuffs, so that's also good. I do like her for that. A lot of her attack is going to be burst damage. So her L2, as long as she's not suffering from cowardice, she gains a 10% resonance, which essentially is burst damage, a small fury, and a small prowess. But for each one of her tempo, she increases all of them by 1%. So like I said, it goes up to 100 and then 150. So her tempo plays huge into her L2, so you have to have the tempo up if you want to get a good L2 off. I can see circumstances where you would want to throw her L3 instead. If you were low on tempo but you had an L2, it might be better to just throw the L3 because she still gets a decent amount of damage off it, and she also kicks into high tempo for 40 seconds, allowing her to build up to 150 and doubling all tempo gains. So that's huge. If you do a perfect result in the mini game, she gets up to 60 seconds on that, so uptime. So at least around 3, I want to say 2 to 3 L3s worth of power before you run out of that. So you can probably go back and forth from the L3 every couple throws or whatever if the opponent's alive long enough for that, but likely they won't be. So yeah, if the opponent is suffering from the vulnerability from her L1, she also gets an unblockable buff until the end of the attack. So you can get past anyone that has, I don't know, unstoppable or something annoying. When you throw a special, she can bypass it and also knock them down. So if you tap in rhythm with her first 5 blasts, you get 625, essentially, I don't know, was it 12% precision until the end of the attack. And if you get them all, if you get at least 4, the last one's a guaranteed crit. Her last hit is a pretty good hit, so you do want to get that. But yeah, like I said, so she's weird in that to get her max damage, you got to be doing all this tapping, and you have to be pretty good with it, or she may not get her full potential. So still do good, but as you'll see, I'll show you both, how it looks with both, or at least I'll try to not screw it up. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty decent hit. Either way, you're still gonna, she does crit very high, so you're still gonna get a very good chance at critting all those hits anyway. But yeah, so let's take her out. She's very simple, guys. She's relying on tempo. She has a few little kinks and shit here and there, but where she can do like little things, but that's pretty much all she is. Relying heavily on the L2 damage, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. She does have the cool falter thing. I do like that, but it is situational, so you have to be sitting there watching. That's the only thing I don't like about it. You have to be watching your tempo here. Where is it? So when does it say you get the dash? So you ready one every 10 tempo. So you have to be watching it. If they do another thing, I guess that she does have, I guess. I was thinking about it. I'm sure a lot of you have noticed that the AI tends to be really good at parrying now for some reason when you're dashing at them. So if they do that garbage, she'll actually stun them, which is really good, and it'll deal a burst of energy damage equal to her tempo. So it's not a lot, but it can get up to around 6,900 and something damage if you're at max, which is unlikely, but yeah, you'll be more than likely during the fight. You'll be in between tempo here and there, depending on how you build it up, how quickly and how your playstyle is. But in the beginning, it's gonna suck. You have to work her up a little bit. So yeah, let's go. She has a low attack, by the way, in an average health pool, is what I've noticed. Just experience, I just know what attacks look like at rank 1 for a 7-star, and hers is low. I'm assuming rank 2 will get her around 4,000 to 4,300, and then rank 3 maybe 5, something like that, which is not great, but she makes up for it. She's a mutant, so they burst. A lot of them have special attack damage. That's what they rely on heavily. She does have some nice little synergies. It's not like game breaking, but here, I forgot. So she can be immune to incinerate if you bring Kate Bishop. Excuse me, Kitty Pryde. It's Kate Bishop. And she also gets 1 tempo whenever she dodges a special attack hit. If you bring long shot, which is okay, it's not great, but it does give if you're a long shot fan, this synergy gives him the ability to throw ignition buffs on them, and yeah, you guys know how nasty long shot can be when he nullifies buffs. With his L2, it's sickening, but yeah. When she does her dazzling dash, she inflicts a incinerate for 20% attack with any of those champions, and the other synergy members get 15% duration. This one is really good right here. So when she would get knocked out, she gets immortality for 6 seconds, which is cool. But for the other champions, I really like that. If they dodge back after landing exactly 4 consecutive attacks, they get a 10.4% vitality buff for 10.4 seconds, which doesn't seem like a lot, but I can tell you right now, giving Kindred more regen is insane, giving Clairvoyant more is insane, and so is iHulk. I don't use them that much in Mortal Hulk, but I'm assuming this is going to really help him, because yeah, the reason I don't use him is because of how quickly he dies off. He kills himself essentially, so that should help him a little bit with some of the health he gets back after killing himself essentially. So the next one is for Spiral here. So I do have her as a 7-star, so when I knock down the opponent, it gives you a 300% crit rating, I believe. Yes, crit rating and unstoppable passive while dodging back or dashing forwards, which is really good for her playstyle, which I'm going to get into her next. I do have her as a 7-star. I didn't realize how rare she was. I got her like months ago. Didn't even realize it until now. But yeah, I think I got her out of the legendary crystal or whatever. And then this one is the one I'm using, so she's hitting special damage. And then 20% if Magneto's on the team, which is weird because he's not in the synergy, so I'm not sure. I just added Colossus and him, just to be sure. So I'm assuming you have to add both. One of these people and then Magneto to get 20%. Colossus, I believe, already gives 20%. Is it Colossus? Maybe it's not. I suppose it's Magneto. Where is he? So his atonement is active, and he also... Nope, he doesn't. So it must be the other one I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of the red one. So yeah, maybe you want to bring the red one. I like this one just because of this synergy, but yeah. And she has a hero, so she'll benefit. Oh, that's why she's benefiting. Never mind. So she doesn't have a passive stun. I'm sorry about that. It was him. That was my bad. I swore it was her, but let me see. Where is it? Because it showed on here, like... I just seen it. Dazzler's personal stun passive does not count against this. Is it... Are they talking about when you intercept? It is. They're talking about your dazzling dash passive stun. Let's see if it works with Magneto. It did not work with Magneto, so it's not every passive stun, it's only hers. But yeah, I'm gonna turn the mic off because the sound is like weird when I'm talking. So anyway guys, thanks for watching, and yeah, enjoy her gameplay. Let me know what you think about her and Spiral, honestly. I'll put the video out for her next. That L2 was sickening. I know y'all saw that. That was fucking sickening with 150. Her damage just goes through the roof. To actually realize her full potential, this is a rank 1, by the way. If she's a rank 3 and she does that L2, I don't even know how much damage she'll do. Jesus. That's 63k in burst damage, up to 150% of that. Gross. She's like Sunspot, but easier, quicker.